everybody, welcome to class today. So today is day number 1 of our back bending series. So today's class is going to be focused on waking up the spinal muscles and a few alignment cues in that regard. You will need a strap for today's class. We're going to be doing lots of shoulder opening. If you don't have a strap, grab a belt or a towel or a tie, whatever you've got is fine. If you enjoy these classes, please remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any class requests or if you want to know more about personalized programs, please feel free to head over to my Instagram or to my website, which is all in the show notes below. We're going to start today in a forward fold at the top of the mat. So taking a gentle bend in through the knees in your forward fold, make sure the feet are parallel. And let the head be really heavy and the neck relax. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale, just let anything that you don't need go. Start to breathe in and out through the nose, feeling the length tractioning through the spine. And then if your eyes are closed, slowly open them. Recheck that your feet are parallel, about hips distance apart. Slight bend in through the knees. As you inhale, you're going to start to reach the elbows forward to the front of the room, lifting the upper back. And then exhale, fold it back through. Inhale, lengthen the upper body, send the elbows towards the front of the room, biceps by the ears. Exhale. Come down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then just swap the crossing of your elbows. Inhale, reach it forward again. Exhale. Inhale, neck is neutral, reach the spine long. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And then exhale. Let the hands dangle and then slowly dropping the tailbone, roll segment by segment all the way up to standing. Head and shoulders come last. And then find a neutral spine, so long through the tail. Shoulders are over the hips. Hips are over the ankles and the head is stacked on top of the body. Inhale, reach the arms up, and notice if when you do this you start to duck butt, send the tailbone towards the back of the room. Gently direct the tail towards the floor and see if you can grow a little longer through the back body, through the back ribs. Gently think of the frontal ribs knitting together, so you're not jamming the abs together, you're just gently drawing in as you send length through the sides of the body. Really important in our back bends is to have length through the whole spine. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring the palms together, start to side bend over towards the left, gently grounding down through the right foot. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the right, grounding down through the left foot. Inhale through center. One more each side, and just notice if you're starting to overcompensate by overarching your back or collapsing forward. Try and think of being squished between two planes of glass and you're just moving between the two planes. Inhale here. Exhale, fold it all the way forward. Inhale, run the hands up the shins to the knees. Come into a halfway lift and hold. Take a gentle bend in through the knees and think of looping the shoulders away from the floor, broadening through the collarbones. And then think of gathering length from the crown of the head all the way to the tail and keeping that gentle knitting in of the frontal ribs, so you're not just sinking into the lower back and thrusting the chin forward. Really long and strong through the spine. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, maintain that. Send the arms off to the side, airplane arms. Take an inhale, And then exhale, start to sweep the arms forward in front of you. So you might have to bend the knees a little bit more. You might have to drop the arms down slightly. That's fine. Inhale, airplane arms. Exhale, sweep it forward. Keep the neck long and relaxed. Inhale, airplane arms. Exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, airplane. And then exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. This time maybe the fingertips stay on the floor. And then exhale, plant the hands 1 foot at a time. Step it back to plank. And then drop the knees down. Bring the knees directly under the hips, the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, reach the right arm forward. Feel the weight is even between both of your knees. Keep that. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're just going to float the left foot behind you. Start by taking the left toes to the floor. Feel the evenness in through the pelvis, in through the sacrum. So if that left hip is dropped, think of squeezing the right glute underneath you, engaging your lower abs to keep that left hip in line with the right. And then start to float the left leg up to the height of the hip. Take 2 more breaths here, feeling the whole posterior chain engaging. And then exhale, set it down. Inhale, sweep that left arm forward, palm faces in. And then as you exhale, take the right toes back, feel the evenness through the pelvis. Take the hand back to check if you need to. Take an inhale. And then exhale, float that leg up to the height of the hip. Keeping long through the spine. Gaze is down. So it's important that you don't just dump into the lower back. It's really easy to overextend through the lower back. When we do our back bending series and sequences, we really want to bring that extension into the upper spine so that we don't just compress and hinge through the lower back. Exhale, bring it down. And then from here, walk your feet back a little bit if you need to. Keep the knees over the hips. Walk the hands forward as far as you can, maybe out slightly. And then start to sink the chest down. Maybe the chin, maybe the forehead touches. And if you're really open through your upper back and shoulders, your chest might be able to get all the way to the floor for Anahatasana, puppy pose. And what I want you to think of here is the hips moving back, the hands grounding down, and the back body moving towards the front body. If your hands are wider than shoulder distance, walk them back into shoulder distance and just start to snake your upper body forward, bringing the hips down onto the floor and coming into Sphinx pose. So the feet are hips distance, the elbows are under the shoulders, and you're pulling the elbows back in order to pull the sternum through the gateway of the arms. Again, you're thinking of that upper body moving, the upper back moving into the front body. Gently press down through the pubic bone to lengthen through the lower spine and engage through the legs. If you're feeling any dumping or any discomfort in through the lower back, I want you to walk your hands forward a little bit so that the back bend isn't quite as deep. And I want you to press the pubic bone more strongly into the floor to take the hinge out of the lower back. And take 2 more breaths here. And then start to tuck under the toes. Make sure that the elbows are underneath the shoulders if you move them. Lift the knees on an inhale. And then as you exhale, strongly engage through the legs and the lower abs to lift yourself up into a forearm plank. If this is too much, you can drop the knees. I want you to strongly engage through the tops of the legs to avoid sinking through the hips and the lower back. Think of the heels moving to the back of the room and the crown of the head towards the front. Take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly start to walk the feet in towards the elbows, piking the hips towards the ceiling for dolphin pose. Bend the knees as much as you need to send the chest back towards the thighs. Gaze can be down between the elbows or back towards the feet, whatever's the most comfortable on your neck. But your head is lifted away from the floor. And then one elbow at a time, or both at the same time, lift the elbows off, come into downward facing dog, making any adjustments that you need to so that the hands are shoulder distance, feet are hips distance. And again, bending your knees as much as you need to get that length in through the spine. And then looking towards the top of the mat, just start to walk your feet all the way up towards the hands. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, send that sternum forward. Exhale to fold. This time, inhale, sweep the arms off, airplane arms as you halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, take the arms, reach them forward, bend the knees a little if you need to. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Palms touch at the top, gentle tucking of the tailbone. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sink the hips low, or bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. And then hook the thumbs. Think of pulling the thumbs apart as you stretch the tailbone back. Reach the arms forward. Make sure that the tailbone isn't moving towards the back ribs. The spine is nice and long and the frontal ribs are moving away from the upper thighs. Again, bringing that awareness into your upper back. Bringing the dumping out of the lower back. And then keep the upper body just as it is. You're going to start to sink the hips back lower and start to parallel the torso to the floor. So now the arms are going to be reaching out directly in front of you. If the biceps don't make it up by the ears, that's totally fine. I want you to gather length in through the spine as opposed to just getting the arms by the ears. Sink the weight a little more into the hips. Take 3 more breaths. And then exhale, slowly fold it forward. Grab your strap if it's handy. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bringing the strap with you. Inhale all the way up to standing. Strap is at just wider than shoulder distance. And as you exhale, keeping that rib to hip connection, start to take the arms behind you. Inhale, overhead. Take the strap a little wider. Exhale, bring the shoulders back a little further. When you do this, don't just dump into the lower back. Bring the extension into the shoulders, into the upper back. Inhale, bring it up overhead. Take the hands a little wider now, and then exhale, reach those shoulders all the way back, keeping that rib to hip connection, keeping the length. Inhale up overhead. And then this time, bring the arms so wide that you can get the strap all the way down to the bum. And then inhale, reach it all the way back up and overhead. We're going to take that 3 times, really focusing on bringing the movement into the shoulders and into the upper back, not just wiggling through the pelvis, through the hips. Keeping the lower body nice and stable. Keeping the neck nice and relaxed. So if you're doing this right, you're probably feeling a fair amount of work in your abs, but also I want you to be feeling the work in your shoulders and in your upper back, opening up through the chest. Take an inhale to reach it all the way up and overhead, and then exhale, just bring the strap in front of you. Bring the hands back to shoulder distance apart on your strap. Inhale, sink the hips, chair pose, raise the arms up. And then this time you're going to use the strap almost as a little bit of resistance to pull apart. And what you should feel is these muscles on the outside edges of your shoulders, your rotator cuff and your lats starting to kick on. See if you can keep that sink a little lower without losing that positioning in through your spine. Knees are gently working their way towards the pinky toe side. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back. Exhale, drop the knee. Pick up your strap again, shoulder distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, bring it back just beyond the line of the head. And then pay attention to what's happening in your lower back. If you've just dumped into your spine and your hips, I want you to think of drawing the left heel towards you, the right knee pressing towards the front of the room as you extend out of the pelvis, out of the lower ribs. See if that allows you to get a little bit more mobility through the shoulders. And then as you exhale, bring it all the way forward, plant the hands, step it back to plank, take an inhale, exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, feet are hips distance apart, elbows hug in towards the body and down. Inhale, leading with the sternum, peel up, cobra. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, press the pubic bone, press the feet, peel up, cobra. Exhale, roll it down. Last one, inhale, peel up. And then this time, exhale, float the hands. Try and keep the elbows from splaying out. Keep the shoulders working down the back and away from the ears. Take 2 more breaths to draw the glutes out of the shoulders. And then exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, knees up or down, plank pose. Inhale here, exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Grab your strap. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and overhead, drawing that strap just beyond the midline of the body, keeping the connection of the ribs and the hips. Exhale, bring it overhead. Widen the grip. Inhale, take it back a little further. Exhale, overhead. Widest grip. Inhale, bring it all the way back. Exhale, fold it all the way forward. Bring the strap shoulder distance apart again. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Pulling apart with that strap again. Sinking the hips back and low. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the arms out at a 90, directly out in front of the shoulders. There we go, parallel to the floor. We got there in the end. Same thing, you're still pulling apart on that strap. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, keep the arms reaching forward as you send the hips back, parallel the torso with the floor. Sink the hips lower, lower, lower. See if you can get the legs to 90 as you reach the arms forward, pulling strongly apart on that strap. Take 3 more breaths. And then exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Exhale, drop the knee. Bringing the strap with you. Inhale, reach all the way up and overhead. Exhale, sink a little lower in the hips, but at the same time, keep lifting the spine up and away from the floor. Let's see if you can gather a little bit more openness in through the shoulders. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, plant it down, step it back, plank pose. Inhale here, exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Run the hands down by the body, palms can face down. Inhale, peel the shoulder heads away from the floor, forehead is down on the mat. And then as you exhale, press into the palms, start to lift the upper body off the mat. And notice if when you do this, the shoulder heads want to drop towards the floor, keep them sliding onto the back body and keep that tailbone gliding towards the heels as you strongly press the tops of the feet into the mat. And take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, maybe start to float the feet up, inner thighs spiraling towards the ceiling. Again, if you feel any discomfort when you're doing this, try pressing the pubic bone a little bit stronger into the mat and think of length as opposed to height. For the last 3 breaths, maybe you float the hands off, keep the shoulder blades rolling onto the back, neck is relaxed. And then exhale, plant the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, knees up or down, plank pose. Inhale here, exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the front of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose, inhale. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to interlace the hands behind the back, elbows come wide. So now it's going to be a lot harder to get that extension in through the upper spine without overextending through the lower spine. So if you need to come up a little bit in your chair pose or take the feet a little bit wider, do what you need to do to get that extension to come into the upper spine. Take 3 more breaths here, keep the elbows wide. Think of gently pressing the head into the hands to lengthen through the neck. And then as you exhale, just fold it forward. Gently use the grip on the back of the neck to traction through the spine. Maybe sway side to side. And then bringing the elbows wide again. Inhale, sink the hips really, really deeply. And then this time just parallel the torso to the floor again. Sending the spine long, crown of the head forward, tail back. Weight is in through the heels. And those elbows are actively now driving up towards the sky or the ceiling. You should really feel this working in your upper back and in your rotator cuff, the muscles around your shoulder blades. And take 3 more breaths, gently pressing the back of the head into the fingertips. And then exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way to the floor. Once more, bring the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers like you're under arrest. Feet are hips distance apart. Bring the elbows off the floor to head height. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, press the back of the head into the hands. Start to peel the chest off. So you're probably not going to get as high as what you could before, and that's fine. I really want you to feel the work that it's taking in through the upper back, in through the legs to get you here. And see if you can relax the glutes. Gently draw in the lower belly. Take 3 more breaths. And then exhale, slowly lower it down. Keep the hands in a cactus position. Bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder. And then as you inhale, you're going to press your body open to the left. So you're pressing yourself onto your right shoulder. onto your right forearm. You should feel a stretch through the front of the right shoulder. And then slowly roll it down. Let's see if I can explain it better on the other side. Cactus the left arm, bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder, and then press into the right hand, sending the chest open towards the right side, opening up through the left side body, the left chest. And then slowly lower it down. Extend both hands in front of you, grabbing your strap. Have your strap just wide enough that you can get the arms all the way to the bum. Okay, there we go. Feet are hips distance apart. And then as you inhale, lift the lower belly. Exhale, you're going to peel up, lift the strap up, and then start to bring the arms up and overhead all the way over until the strap touches the bum. Lift the chest a little higher, press the feet a little stronger, and then inhale all the way back down to the floor. So adjust the strap if you need to make it longer or shorter. Inhale on the floor, and then exhale, strongly press the feet, lift the hands, lift the chest, strap to bum. Inhale, reach it all the way overhead. Exhale, draw it up and back. Inhale, reach it forward. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then this time we're going to hold. And what I want you to do is I want you to flip the palms down towards the floor. And I want you to think of pulling that strap apart without bunching the shoulders up towards the ears. See if you can draw the strap a little bit towards the floor. The hands a little bit more towards the side walls. Take 2 more breaths. Maybe lift the feet. Maybe get a little longer. And then press the feet down, sweep the arms up and overhead, and rest the cheek. And then bringing the hands out in front of you. Last little thing here. Inhale, raise the right arm, left leg. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, left arm, right leg, keeping the forehead on the mat. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, both arms, both legs, shoulder and hips distance apart. Think of a game of tug of war, reaching length through the spine. And then draw the hands back underneath the shoulders. Take 1 more inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, plant the feet, lift the knees, upward dog. And then downward facing dog. And then just step yourself through to a seat, simple cross-legged position. And take the arms directly out in front of you. Inhale, reach length through the spine. You can hook the thumbs if you want to. Gently drawing the knees down, keeping the hips, the shoulders above the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Take an inhale, gather more length. And then as you exhale, release left hand, right knee. And then as you inhale, unwind, bring it back through center. Hook the other thumb on top, interlacing the thumbs, pulling them apart, gathering length. Gentle rib to hip connection. Inhale. Exhale, twist it over to the left. Inhale, gather more length. Exhale, release right hand to the left knee and take a twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, take the hands behind you. You're just going to switch the cross of your legs and then start to crawl the hands forward. So you can take any forward fold, any hip opener that you like. And we're going to finish our practice here in a forward fold. So it might be nice to stack your fists so that your forehead can rest on something. Or take a block or a pillow or something to bring the floor to you. You can always feel free to take a child's pose. Wherever you are, just feel the strength and energy you have created. And take this with you throughout your day, night, whatever time you're practicing. And as you go forward today, may you have space in your thoughts, calmness in your words, and meaning in your heart. Namaste.